A lot of agencies, I think the red flag I would suggest for a lot of agencies is telling business owners how much money they're going to make before they've even started.
Where are some places where you see business go completely wrong with social media? Like they've been consistent, but they're not getting the ROI that they get from it? Where do you think the common mistakes are?
I think a lot of people make the mistake of consistently posting but not tracking data.
What's the best platform to create content?
That also depends on what business you're in, but I would suggest that products are highly sold now. The ROIs are very, very big on TikTok as well as Instagram.
I want to ask you the $1 million question people ask. How to go viral on social media?
I would suggest it.
Awesome guys, welcome to another show with Shimark Gafoor. In this week's episode, we got someone who's running a marketing agency, like a social media marketing agency. We know a lot of content creators are watching with us. People are coming, international students or influencers and people who are having their own marketing agencies. And why don't we talk to someone who's doing that for a living, right? Who's actually doing it really well. And thank you, Piers. Thank you so much for coming, man.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been on a podcast, so it's good to be back. It's good to be back.
No, this is good. Obviously, you did a podcast before and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Piers, by the way, for a bit of everyone, he's got a fair following on social media as well, 15,000 and more. He's working heaps of clients in South Australia. So if you're looking for any social media, obviously we'll put Piers's Instagram handle and stuff. You can DM him. And so basically we're connected through Zoe. Thank you, Zoe, who was there. And so I want to just start out in your agency. Just want to know how you started, how you got your first customers. What was that journey like?
So I started Stone Marketing in 2020, which is a bit of a strange time to start. It was the start of COVID. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was doing photography, but due to COVID, I couldn't really go out and shoot much. So I was sort of stuck. I was getting job seeker at that time from the government. So I guess mentally I sort of thought, okay, well, if I'm getting this money, I can allocate my time elsewhere. So I had a relatively good network. So I reached out to businesses, friends, dads, people that I'd met along the road with photography, and I sort of asked if they'd be keen on me coming in, doing social media management. So I guess mentally I sort of thought, okay, if I allocate this much of the money to this client and this much to this client, that's sort of how I got started. So once the money from the government stopped coming in, is when I approached them and sort of said, this is where I've taken your business from and to.
So the content was actually driving sales and whatnot.
So this is where I've taken it from and to. Would you be interested in me jumping on board as a retainer client, or every so often I come out for a shoot and whatnot. So luckily after that period of time, a lot of people stayed on, which I'm really grateful for. But that's how it all sort of started. Which was kind of a weird, unconventional time to start, but I'm really grateful that that's when I sort of kicked it off.
Love that. And you're mainly in the retainer models. They pay in a man every monthly, and X amount of posts that you make and stuff like that.
So Stone Marketing at the moment is made up of retainer clients and sort of one-off shoots.
Project working.
Exactly right. It's a happy mix. And
which are businesses you work with in?
So I work with, at the moment, I'm working with quite a few trades. So carpentry, electrical's booming at the moment because of the solar and battery rebates from the government. So a lot of companies are looking to push that to residential people throughout the state. And then random jobs and clients. So outdated clothing in Adelaide. I've worked with barbershops, restaurants, I've done events, I've worked with DJs, recently worked with a Formula One driver with Valtteri Bottas. So
I saw that one,
I've done a few things for some really cool people, but it's sort of, that's why I love my job, because no day's the same. One day I'll be working with a carpenter, the next day I'll be working in a restaurant or at an event. So it's really special.
So you shoot all the content for them and then edit that, and then they post it on their social platform. Obviously, you shared on your channel as well.
So it started with me doing everything, but as time has gone on, I've gotten a little bit bigger, and I've delegated a few roles, which is something that I've struggled with in the past, is sort of giving away my baby, of what I've sort of grown and what I've started, and not micromanaging it anymore. It's sort of letting people be creative within Stone Marketing as well as myself. So. That's awesome. It's been a process. It's been a process, but it's been 5 years. Yeah, it's been a process. It started off as Mason Stevens Marketing, which is my last name. But I think it's for the last 3 years it's been stone marketing.
Stone marketing.
Yeah.
Love that, man. Love that. Now let's get to the juicy part. I want to ask you really the questions that all business owners around Australia or like in the US, they're like social media, you got to post content, content, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like and I wanted to ask you, like obviously being in the industry for so long, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any business or service business out there actually want to grow their social media journey and bring sales in and revenue in with social media.
Yeah.
Like where do they start? What do they need to do? What do they need to focus on? Let's say like a service business, for an example. Like just run us through that. Just give us, I know you can't obviously talk about the whole thing. It's obviously very detailed and specific to an industry.
Yeah.
But what are your thoughts on how they can drive sales with social media?
Yeah, I think the short answer to that is to get started. I think a lot of people do a lot of talking.
Yeah.
I think it's important that people sort of action ideas. Things aren't going to be perfect from the start ever. A lot of people can't afford to have a marketing agency on board, but what I would suggest these businesses, small, medium, and even large, is to start. Just start somewhere.
Start posting content.
Exactly right. On Meta.
Like cameras, proper cameras, or do you use iPhones?
iPhones are perfect. Like I said, only the sort of professional people such as like agencies like myself and other people can afford to have that sort of stuff. So iPhones are perfect. Any phone is perfect these day and age. They do 4K, like they can shoot perfectly. So I think coming up with ideas, cool concepts, thinking outside the box, and consistency is key. There's no point posting once 1 week and then waiting 4 weeks until you post again. If you're going to get started, it's important that you've got consistency, whether that's you're posting once a week or twice a week, you're sort of sticking to that regimen. And I guess that's sort of how I'd suggest they start.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And if someone's been posting for a long time and they're not getting results, right? So they're a service-based business, whether that's an electrical business, they're posting content.
Yeah.
And like I think there's either two things: either your content's not good, or you're not talking about the right things, or like where are some places where you see business go completely wrong with social media? Like they've been consistent, but they're not getting the ROI that they get from it. Like where do you think the common like mistakes are?
That's a great question. I think a lot of people make the mistake of consistently posting but not tracking data. I think, and it's something that I've learned in recent times, that it's really important to look into analytics as to, I mean, your question is if people keep posting and they're not seeing any results, I think they would see slightly better video, say one video does slightly better than the other. It's always important to track analytics.
Yes.
It's not something that I'm amazing at, but the person that I work very, very closely with is very, very good at it. It sort of shows you, like if you're looking at insights such as engagement, comments, likes, impressions, so how many people view your post, why have they viewed your post? It's sort of analysing the data. It's not just analysing the content. It's not just posting and sort of see you later to that. It's sort of going back, analysing why you think it might have worked. Is there a hook at the start? Is there information that someone that may not be following can sort of gain from viewing your post or coming to your page? There's a lot of sort of aspects that help people be successful, and there's a lot of reasons why people aren't. But the successful ones are, what's the word? They're giving information, and they're giving people that wouldn't necessarily usually access that information, they're giving them knowledge.
Like value in the content.
Exactly right.
Right.
So, but it is really hard. It's really hard. And I can see how people get disheartened. It's a lot of time and a lot of effort. And if it's not a field that you overly enjoy, it can be really, really hard if you're posting and you're not getting any results. My suggestion and my advice would to just be stick at it, because sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. Marketing is one of those things that it's very, it's opinion based. Like you might think something's gonna get highly engaged with, and I might think something else is. Until you analyse that data, you don't know. It's sort of best idea wins. So try new things. If things aren't working, try something different. And yeah, I guess it's a tough game. It's a tough game, but stick at it, because I think over time, if you do keep up with that consistency, you will see growth.
Good question, and a good point actually. And I just want to follow up question on that. And like a lot of people post different types of content, right? Like some people post talking head videos, some post the aesthetic content. Like, should someone mix it up, or do you think they should like stick to one format, like talking head, to kind of build some brand and some recognition about the person? Or what do you think about that, like from that perspective, like going to the technical aspects?
I guess that depends on what business they are. Right. If they're a business that is focusing or relies highly on credibility, face to face, I would suggest including facial people in the videos. If it's more design, aesthetic orientated, I would stick to doing a bit of both. I think it never hurts to have a face, putting a face to a name or a face to a business. A lot of successful businesses that I've worked with have not slammed posting about themselves, but it's always nice when you're buying from a brand, you know who you're buying from. Or if you're getting a service, you know who the owner is, or you know who the workers are. Right. Especially with trades, if you're having someone come into your home, it's nice to know that you feel as though you know them before they walk through the door. Right. It's good to show personality. It's good to show all those sorts of things. Right. I think people can resonate more with someone that they feel as though they know, rather than a complete stranger.
That makes sense. Yeah. Right. A bit of relatability as well on the content.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think what's very interesting is in different industries, sometimes views are very subjective, because sometimes if you're going to a high niche industry, then your views may not be that high. Whereas if you post something about, I don't know, makeup, you might get millions of views. Yeah. But if you're going like you're a tax accountant, then you may not get much views. But I think the views are very subjective. It's who you're trying to target, I guess. Who you're trying to reach out to, what your content's trying to do at the end of the day. Exactly.
And that's the point. It's always important to have a strategy in place. It's why are you posting content? What's the end goal? If the end goal is to get more people through the door, then you've got to be tracking the data. You've got to be looking at your ROIs. If it's for social growth, then you're looking at the insights, like impressions, how many people are viewing it. You're looking at your follow count. You're looking at all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you are looking to execute on more people buying a product, more people using your service, or people wanting your services as in like the trades and stuff, then you've got to be tracking ROIs. Okay, cool. Which is all down to the analytics again, and tracking data and tracking who's going to the websites, why they're going to the websites and stuff, which can get a bit detailed and over a lot of people's heads, but it's why agencies exist.
Yes, and they do it all for you. Absolutely. I want to ask you the $1 million question. People ask, how to go viral? Is it even viable to go viral on social media?
That's a good question. I think that is the $1 million question. I think, I don't think I could give a definitive answer for that. I think it's down to consistency. I know that Meta is more likely to give someone or a business or company views if they're posting consistently, which is why I sort of suggest don't stop posting, don't get disheartened by it. There might be a video you don't think is going to go viral that can pop off. So it's all about consistency.
And it significantly affects your sales. Like that one video might just go off and you don't know the ROI in your business.
Exactly right. So yeah, it's something that, look, I'm not perfect at what I do. No. I'm still learning every single day. So that question is a great question, but it's something I'm trying to still work out myself. The Meta, TikTok, they're changing the goalposts every day. The algorithms are changing. So I think it's just important to sort of stay relevant, look at trends, try and follow trends. And if you've got a cool idea that you think is going to work, give it a crack. See what happens.
Post and be cringe.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, it's only ever cringe until you go viral, and then it's not cringe anymore, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just keep having a crack. Make it fun. Keep it fun and lighthearted.
Yeah, exactly. Like don't make it like work. Like just try to have a bit of fun while you're shooting content and whatnot.
Exactly.
Absolutely. And like I just want to ask as well, like what platforms do you think like people like drive the highest ROI these days? Because like TikTok's so crowded, Instagram's extremely competitive as well. We've got a lot of creators going to LinkedIn because LinkedIn's like that up and coming platform. Facebook, for some reason, is weirdly growing, like because there's less content supply there.
Yeah.
So what's the best platform to create content, you reckon, to build your personal brand?
That also depends on what business you're in.
Okay.
Obviously, the demographic of each platform changes. So Facebook's a relatively older crowd. Instagram's probably the 16 to 35-year-olds, potentially early 40s. And TikTok's quite a young generation.
Yes.
More and more older people are going on it. But as a marketing person, I would suggest the best results for businesses come from when you're posting and you're spreading yourselves across all those platforms. I would suggest most businesses go on each platform, but you also have to look at what a reel you post for Instagram. You might not post the exact same reel for TikTok. It's just playing around with it.
Testing.
It's testing. But I would suggest that products are highly sold now. The ROIs are very, very big on TikTok, as well as Instagram.
Yes.
But yeah, it changes. Services, and depending whether you're doing Google ads and stuff, I think it's just really important to have each touch point and have quality and consistency at each touch point. It helps with credibility at the end of the day as well.
Look, I'm just curious as well. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who are starting out right now. Maybe there's a girl who's running a makeup brand with one employee, and there's a guy who's running his accounting firm with one guy. There's all these solopreneurs coming up, right? And I just wanted to ask you, as a marketing person, you're seeing, you're putting out content for a lot of businesses every day. How much time should they spend on content? Like, should that be the number one priority to drive ROI? Like, obviously they're doing cold call and whatnot, but should brand building on social media be the number one priority? And if so, how much time should they spend on it? And what's the strategy they need to kind of implement? I'm just curious.
I would suggest it's step by step. I think you need to figure out what your goals are as a business. You need to figure out a strategy as to how you're going to get that goal, and you got to sort of...
Say it's followers. They want to grow followers.
If they're looking to grow followers, I would suggest consistency with posting on all platforms. I would suggest, especially for Instagram, posting reels. I think photos are great, but they're nowhere near as engaging, and the impressions are nowhere near as high. People are more inclined to click and watch something moving rather than a stationary image. It's important to have a hook at the start of each video. People's attention span's getting less and less as days go on. I think at the moment, if you can't grab someone in the first half a second,
you're done.
They're done. They're on to the next post. So
it's just the thumbs, like boom, 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 boom.
It's really tough. And people that are busy and they're running their own businesses generally don't have a lot of time to create their own content.
No.
But that comes down to the goal setting, what they're looking to achieve. If it's something that they're really striving for, is to grow their followers, then I would suggest they spend a decent amount of time on social media. But if they're seeking or they're getting better results from word of mouth or other places like Google Ads, then it changes.
It depends on where you're getting your maximum ROI. Like at the end of the day, you want to stay in business.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, yeah.
But I think it's essential for businesses to have each touch point, website, social media, paid advertising strategy, all to be aligned, I think. But that depends on so many different things. It's the business, budget, marketing budget, and time.
And very interesting you mentioned marketing budget, because I'm a strong believer that if you post consistently and you see something perform well in the algorithm, then you bet marketing dollars against that.
Yep.
Do you agree with that? Do you think that's the strategy to go by, or how do you make sure your ad spend is very optimized?
I think it's not a bad strategy, but I think it's a reactive strategy at this.
Okay.
Also, I think a proactive strategy is to have Facebook paid Facebook marketing campaigns going. Google ads. Google's the top search console around the planet. Facebook second, and I think Bing might be third.
ChatGPT is coming up as well.
ChatGPT, yeah, that's changing the world. I'm going to be out of a job in the next few months, so I think, the budget is just around. I think it's important to sort of spread it out. A lot of people sort of put all their eggs into one basket, and when it doesn't work, it's sort of
Just can burn cash down there.
exactly. But if you're sort of spreading it out, and also I think it's important for people to realise that they don't need to spend thousands of dollars on paid advertising. If you're doing it right and you're proactive with it, you can have different assets with the same or different messaging. You can put them out that are really low spend. You can see which one's delivering.
Right.
Remove the other ones that aren't working and put all the budget into that one.
Got it. Got it.
A lot of agencies, I think the red flag I would suggest for a lot of agencies is telling business owners how much money they're going to make before they've even started, before they've read data. They are telling these business owners to spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars per week on Google, Facebook, when they don't even know it works yet.
That's
so,
crazy.
Which is insane. You can spend as little as $5 a day if you wanted to. You can start as small as you want.
Wow. Okay. And then test it out and then see if it actually returns.
You're better to test it out at the start, so then you can funnel more money into it. There's no point throwing cash at something that might work. It's important to throw money at things that you can see are working.
I'm just curious to ask as well, as a marketing agency, you would have this, I don't know if I say battle, but this arm wrestle with your businesses where like, I think we should do the marketing this way. And they're like, no, it's not on brand. Let's do it this way. How do you manage that? Like, do you get a lot of pushback from your ideas or how do you manage that with your clients? Or they just listen to you?
I think over the last 5 years, I really like the barber analogy. You got to sweep the hair before you start cutting. I would subjectively listen to a lot of companies and businesses when I first started, but now that I've been in the game for quite a long time, I can see what works. I can see what hasn't worked. I've got the ability to pull information from my business partner so he can show me and point me into the right direction for content, what's working, what's not. You can look at social media these days as well. Follow trends. Yeah. So at the moment, it's a bit of a happy medium. Like I'm more than happy to sit down and listen to people's ideas.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert in everything that I do. Like if I go into a different segment of business that I'm not too sure about and someone's lived it and breathed it for 5-10 years, they're going to know more than me. So that's when it comes down to no ego when you're doing stuff as well. Taking on constructive criticism when things don't work, not losing but learning, I think is really important. And going into situations being okay with not getting the result that you thought you would get as a content creator, but learning from that, following trends, learning from data and pushing yourself in the right direction. But a lot of people do have an ego and they want to push their own agenda, but I think it's important. I've always found it really important to listen as well as push what I think can work.
That's interesting. What's your favorite part about content creation? Is this the shooting, the editing? What way you're like at Zen? You're like, I'll do this all day. I
love helping small businesses. I love shooting. I love interacting with clients. I think it's really special seeing an idea come to life. You sit down and have a brief of a shoot. You'll see the client getting really happy and excited about it and then executing it and then getting good results for them. Like the whole process is really exciting, I think. I'm really lucky that I'm in a field that I love. I think there's not many days that I'd wake up and be like, oh shit, I gotta work. I'm really lucky in the fact that every step along the way I really enjoy. And yeah, it's a process. It's a process that I'm continuing to learn more about, which is what I love about it.
That's crazy. Yeah. No, I love that. And then obviously, it's actually like, I think social media is one of the largest revenue drivers for a lot of businesses these days. And if you're directly impacting that must be something that they absolutely love. And they're like, let's put time and effort into this. And, he's actually an asset. Yeah. Like the agency is like actually an asset to the business. It's not another thing we got to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah.
Just working with good people is exciting for me. Like I really enjoy, I'll go away and I'll work with Valtteri Bottas, the Formula One driver, and I'll come back and I enjoy just as much working with my mates who run a construction company as I do with other people. It's all about people and helping people and seeing people smile at the end of the day. I think if you don't enjoy what you do, you should change and you should do what you love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that most of your clients are based only in Adelaide, and you.
A lot of them based in Adelaide. I've got one in Gold Coast, as well as a client in the UK who's an events company. But yeah, predominantly in Adelaide.
Right. Predominantly in Adelaide. I want to ask you something as well in terms of like hiring social media, like a social media agency, like a marketing agency, right? A lot of businesses have been burnt before. They've hired an agency, as you said, promising unreasonable results, and then being like a few months on the line, man, I don't think this is working out. What are some red flags they need to look out for? And some green flags.
Yeah.
Some things they need to check before they get their next social media, marketing agency on board to help them with their content or social media. What do you think?
I think I wouldn't necessarily say it's a red flag, but what I really like to do before I get into business with someone is to meet with them face to face. I won't work with anyone I don't feel as though I align with.
Yes.
Which, I mean, 9 times out of 10 I do like the people that I sit across the table from. I would definitely say a red flag is someone that is going into a meeting or approaches you and tells you what they're going to do for you before they know your business, before they know anything about anything of what they're doing.
Someone who actually listens.
You need to listen. People that tell you that they're going to get a massive ROI on ad spend before they've learnt the data is a massive red flag. I've come into meetings with a lot of businesses that have been burnt badly by agencies that spend all their money on ads that aren't working, retainer clients that their KPIs are to keep these ads running, but they don't actually look at them. They're just sort of running through time, and as time goes on, the businesses are burning through their money. Ads need to change. You need to change details within the ads so that they're optimized. There's lots of things you need to do with ads that I've learnt over the last 2 years of knowing my business partner that I think are essential for all businesses to learn about. I think it's also important for businesses and companies before they approach agencies is to do their due diligence with marketing as well.
Yeah, do it yourself for a while.
Yeah, I think whether they do it themselves or they look into it, at least look into it and learn about what they think they should be doing. I think a lot of people take businesses for a ride when they go into a meeting knowing fair well that they know nothing about what they're going to tell them. They can sort of say whatever they want and they know the person's either been backed into a corner and they sort of just go at the first person that offers them services.
Right.
But yeah, I think the main red flag is, I would say, people that they're going to say they're going to deliver the world before they know anything about your business. I think that's a red flag to look out for.
Yes.
There's also a lot of people charging a lot of money for marketing services that are very, very overpriced in my opinion, but that's not necessarily a red flag. If you can justify spend, if you can justify and you're seeing an ROI, go for your life. But I still think there's a lot of people charging a lot of
Too much money.
Too much money, I think.
Yeah. For what they're actually delivering.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so anyway.
Fair enough. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of friends who work with like agencies, and some have not worked out, some have been awesome. And I think you're more the guy that just wants to partner with them and just have a good time and be honest and be like, hey, look, let's just make some content, let's see how that goes, and let's analyze it, let's get better. I think that's better than like just promising the world, being like, let's partner, let's work it out together.
Well, it's like getting a relationship with a woman or a man. It's like, like it's let's catch up a few times and see if we like each other. Like it's a phased approach. It's not necessarily saying the first time I meet with you saying we need to spend $500 a week on Google ads or whatnot. It's saying let's start with a phase. I'll go out and do a shoot for you. I'll show you what I can do. We'll give you a marketing social strategy so you can see how these content and the assets are going to roll out on your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and go from there. It's not necessarily jumping to the last step as soon as you meet someone.
It's interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. I just wanted to ask you just one last question as well before we jump onto the rapid fire that I didn't tell you about because I wanted to be a surprise. No, just kidding. It's nothing crazy. But so like as we spoke about, like, a lot of like the social media space is really crowded, right?
Yeah.
And like someone that's coming in new, they can get very overwhelmed. And you said post consistently, keep posting, right? And then there might be the question about, like, how do I stand out? Like, how do I be different, right? And they don't have a lot of budget for ad spend. They just got a phone and they're running a business there. And they're like, how do I be different? Like, and I got a lot of different answers. Some people like, show your personality, be yourself, and all that kind of stuff. But what do you think? Like, some, the brands that you work with, what do you push so that they are at a competitive edge as compared to a lot of other people in this space?
I think it's always personality. I think personality is key. I think it's really important for people to put their face to their business or brand. I mean, it doesn't always work. Don't get me wrong, but from the clients that I've had, the difference in insights and engagement from when we weren't showcasing personnel to when we did, it grew quite a lot. And I think it's also, a lot of people start businesses to get rich quick as well. If you're not in it for the long game, it's like, if you're not proud of what you're doing, you generally won't show your face with it. But a lot of businesses, when you are proud of it and you enjoy what you do, you're more inclined to show that. And I think when you do show that and you do love what you do, your personality comes out, your drive comes out, your passion comes out. And I think that's a big seller for a lot of people. People buy into that. Like, I see that you're very passionate about what you do with the podcast, which is why I wanted to come on. Like, if I sort of thought that you were not that keen and whatnot, it's like, I'd be like, oh, okay, next, I think it's important for people to showcase how much they love what they do.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. And I think that's a big definer, because sometimes you follow some people on social media and they got something about them, right? It's like, oh, I like this guy. I want to see his content more. I want to see her content more. Maybe just a girl talking about her makeup, right? But you're like, oh, she's funny. Or there's a dude who's, there's the guys in Adelaide, they go and eat like 10 Guzmans and I don't know what they, their name. I forgot their name, like, or like the whole of KFC.
Yeah, be the one, the boys.
Yeah, that one, yeah. And you're like, that's crazy, because they're like, sure, who gives a shit? Let's just do what we want to do, right? And
it's different from business to business.
Yes.
I think it's just important that people find, it's also, I don't want people to sort of listen to this and sort of feel as though they need to just put their face in front of it. It's quite a daunting thing, putting your face on a camera, but start somewhere. As you get more confident, try it out.
Or they can hire someone who's in the business to even put their face in.
Exactly, yeah.
Like an employee who's happy to do it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Awesome, Piers. That was really good. I think we got a lot of value out of it. Again, guys, if you wanna reach out to Piers, the Instagram handle is there. Is that the best way to reach out?
Yeah, Instagram handle.
And if you want any social media marketing down, service business, any business in Adelaide, South Australia, reach out to him. And we're gonna go through a quick rapid fire before we end this one, right?
Cool.
So number 1, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Favorite dish in the world?
I love my pizza.
Pizza.
Yeah, I love my pizza.
One place in the world you would be right now, like anywhere in the world we could take you.
Top of my head, I'll say Croatia.
Croatia.
Yeah.
You like Croatia? I like the way it is. Love that. One person you'd have dinner with, dead or alive?
God, that's a great question. Dead or alive? I'm going to say Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. Oh, yeah, he'll be a character.
The king.
The king. He'll be a character. One superpower you wish you had?
Fly. Wish I could fly.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah. That would be awesome. No, thank you so much, Piers. I appreciate it, man. Really, thank you for coming. And guys, please subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this conversation, or comment below. Let us know who you'd like to see next, and we'll try to bring them on. If we can't, we'll get someone closely to that. But again, comment, show some love to the channel, and stay safe. Thank you so much, and hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for next week. Thank you.